You feel it, don't you? The weight, the chains, dragging behind your thoughts like ghosts. Regret, distraction, weakness. You scroll for hours. You chase people who don't even think about you. You replay failures like there's some twisted movie you can't stop watching. You keep whispering, "I'll change tomorrow," but tomorrow never comes because you're not stuck. You're comfortable. You're not broken. You're addicted. Addicted to the softness, the story, the sadness. Look around. This is your battlefield. Ashes of old dreams, burnt bridges, dead focus. And there you are, kneeling, hands tied, not by anyone else, but by your own mind. But there's a fire ahead. It's not destruction. It's rebirth. It's pain. It's silence. It's war. But if you walk into it, you will rise from it. Or you can stay there. Kneeling, begging, scrolling. Choose. Reset your mind. Or stay a slave forever. If you're still watching, it means something inside you hasn't died yet. Good. Now prove it. Type this in the comments right now. I choose fire over comfort. Let the weak scroll past. Let the slaves keep explaining themselves. But not you. This channel isn't for dopamine addicts. It's not for men who want soft words and sympathy. It's for those who are ready to go to war with their own mind. If that's you, subscribe. Not for motivation, but for a reminder that silence is power, discipline is sacred, and weakness must be hunted down and destroyed. Welcome to the Brotherhood of Steel. Now gear up, because it only gets harder from here. You weren't born like this. You weren't born addicted to your phone. You weren't born begging for attention. You weren't born explaining yourself to people who don't matter. You were born free. But somewhere along the line, you gave your freedom away. Not to chains, not to prison, to comfort, to validation, to the poison that feels sweet going down. You open your eyes, and what's the first thing you reach for? Your phone, not your mind, not your purpose. Just a screen filled with noise, drama, and fake dopamine. You've made a silent agreement with weakness, a deal you didn't even realize you signed. A life where heartbreak controls your thoughts, where failure defines your identity, where you hand your power to women who left, friends who ghosted, and strangers who don't give a damn about you. This isn't freedom. This is spiritual slavery. The scariest part? You've gotten used to it. You scroll through other men's wins. You binge content hoping it'll fix you. You chase closure from people who already moved on. You overthink every mistake like you're the only one who's ever failed. You wait for the perfect time to start over, but that time never comes. Because deep down, you're afraid. Afraid of becoming who you're meant to be. Afraid of being alone. Afraid of cutting ties, walking away, and facing the silence. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But here's the truth you avoid. You've let outside events become your god. You've let emotions become your compass. You've let society raise you to be soft, passive, dependent. You were not built to be this man. You were not built to chase likes, cry over texts, or drown in overthinking. You were built to conquer your thoughts, to train your mind like a weapon, to walk through heartbreak, rejection, loneliness, and not flinch. This is where the fire begins, not in motivation, but in war. A war against distraction, a war against softness, a war against the part of you that whispers, "Maybe later." This video isn't here to inspire you. It's here to rip the blindfold off, to throw you into the fire and see what's left when the smoke clears. Because until you reset your mind, you will keep reliving the same nightmare, wearing different clothes, chasing different people, but stuck in the same cage. And there's no escape until you admit the truth. You did this. You can undo it. but only if you're ready to kill the version of you that chose this life. You say you want to change. You say you want to become strong, disciplined, untouchable. But here's the truth. You don't want change. You want comfort disguised as progress. You read books but don't apply them. You watch motivation videos, feel pumped, and then scroll TikTok for 3 hours. You talk about becoming better, but when it's time to suffer, you run. You want transformation without pain. You want discipline without discomfort. You want to reset your life while still staying warm, soft, and safe. Let me break it to you, warrior. Comfort is killing you. Softness is suffocating your fire. And the only way out is through the flames. The lie of balance. The world tells you to chase balance. But for a weak man, balance is a death sentence. You can't balance discipline with addiction. You can't balance cold focus with endless texting. You can't balance your dreams with your comfort zone. There is no middle ground. There's only war. The man you want to be is on the other side of pain, not pleasure. Every time you choose ease, you reinforce the cage. Every time you hit snooze, you bury your strength. Every time you avoid discomfort, you kill your future. The Stoics didn't preach balance. They preached resilience, self-mastery, inner fire, not balance, but domination of the self. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." You keep waiting for the day comfort and growth can coexist. That day doesn't exist. You either walk through pain now or crawl through regret forever. Comfort is a cage. Let's get brutally honest. Comfort is not a reward. Comfort is a sedative. It keeps you numb while your purpose bleeds out. Comfort convinces you that you're okay when you're not. Comfort whispers, "Just rest a little longer." Comfort gives you cheap highs, so you never reach your peak. You don't feel fire because you've padded your world in softness. Soft food, soft routines, soft people. You're surrounded by pleasure, but starving for purpose. You don't need more convenience. You need more confrontation. You need to wake up and declare war on the man who built this cage. You. The war against the couch. Your couch is your enemy. Your bed is a battleground. The warm blanket that makes you hit snooze is not comfort. It's death in disguise. Every morning the war begins, and it's not dramatic, it's small. It's whether you rise on time or delay your purpose. It's whether you face the cold or hide in heat. It's whether you choose pain or escape into ease. You think you're just resting. You're training your nervous system to fear difficulty. You're conditioning yourself to run from pain. And a man who runs from pain can never lead, can never rebuild, can never command his mind. Comfort breeds weakness. Look around. Men are weaker than ever, not because of genetics, because of softness, because of indulgence, because of a world that tells them it's okay to take it easy. You don't have to prove anything. You deserve a break. You don't deserve a break. You deserve the fire. You deserve the discipline that will forge your soul into steel. Epictetus said, "You become what you give your attention to." If your attention is always on comfort, you become soft. If your attention is always on ease, you become fragile. And fragile men break in storms. You say you want to be a warrior? Then act like it. Stop hiding in the warm. Walk straight into the cold. The cold is your friend. Cold showers, cold mornings, cold rejection, cold silence. The Stoic man embraces the cold because he knows the cold reveals the truth. When you remove the warmth, what's left is real. Real focus, real hunger, real strength. Do you want to reset your mind? Then start every day with something hard, painful, cold, silent. No music, no notifications, just discipline, just war, because suffering is sacred. When you choose pain before the world throws it at you, you become untouchable. You think a cold shower is just a trend. Number. It's a ritual of death. Death of the soft version of you. Death of the one who flinches. The comfort ghost. There's a version of you that lurks in shadows. He's watching you. He's weak. He's afraid. He's soft. And every time you choose comfort, he gets stronger. He whispers, "You've done enough. You deserve to rest. You can always start tomorrow." He is your enemy. He is not your friend. And you need to kill him, because if you don't, he will kill your future. He will keep you numb, keep you scrolling, keep you stuck. He is the ghost of mediocrity, and he's feeding on your comfort. The mirror test. Want to know how you're really doing? Don't ask how much you've achieved. Ask how much pain you've chosen. Ask how many days you've woken up and gone to war instead of sleeping in. Stand in the mirror and ask, when was the last time I suffered for something that mattered? If the answer is, I can't remember, you are not free. You are not building. You are not a man of fire. You are still addicted to softness, and that addiction will steal your future if you don't fight back. The fire of discipline. Discipline is not a habit. Discipline is a flame, and that flame only burns in men who kill comfort. Every time you say no to ease, the fire grows. Every time you do what's hard, the fire sharpens. Every time you stay cold, stay silent, stay focused, the fire roars. And one day, the world will ask, how did he become like that? They won't know. Because you were burning while they were resting, grinding while they were whining, choosing discipline while they were choosing dopamine. Burn the bridge back. You want a new life? Then burn the old one. Stop romanticizing rest. Stop justifying your weakness. Stop calling comfort your self-care. No more breaks. No more cheat days. No more softness. You don't need more hacks. You don't need more information. You need to burn the bridge back to the man you used to be. There's only one direction now. Forward. Through fire. Through pain. Through discomfort. Comfort won't come with you. It will die screaming behind you. Let it. Final strike. You came here because you're tired. Tired of feeling weak. Tired of starting over. Tired of being soft. Now listen closely. If you don't kill your comfort, it will kill you. The version of you dream about. He's not found in sleep. He's not found in comfort. He's found in cold mornings, brutal discipline, and relentless silence. So what's it going to be? Another soft day, or the beginning of your war? Choose now. Burn the comfort zone, or live in chains forever. You keep wondering why your mind feels heavy, why you're tired for no reason, why you can't focus, why every day feels like you're dragging dead weight. Here's why. You're surrounded by poison, not just in what you eat, but in who you follow, what you watch, who you talk to, and what you tolerate. Your mind is infected, your circle is soft, your habits are draining your fire. And unless you start cutting, you will never rise. The cost of carrying poison. You don't get to build a disciplined life while keeping lazy friends. You don't get to reclaim your masculinity while staying in emotional relationships that emasculate you. You don't get to become focused while spending hours on apps that are designed to destroy attention. Every weakness you tolerate is a slow death. You're not failing because of some deep psychological trauma. You're failing because you won't cut the things that kill your edge. You'd rather stay connected than be powerful. You'd rather be liked than be lethal. Your mind is a temple. Guard it like a fortress. Imagine this. You're a soldier guarding a sacred temple, and every day you allow drunk fools to walk in. You allow liars, manipulators, distractions to throw garbage into your sanctuary. What do you think will happen? Chaos. Mental fog, lack of purpose, emotional breakdowns. Your mind is your temple, but you treat it like a public bathroom. You scroll for hours through strangers' opinions. You keep talking to people who drained you years ago. You give second chances to people who spat on your first. No more. If it steals your energy, if it makes you question your worth, if it distracts you from your mission, cut it. Ruthlessly, permanently, silently. Toxic people, the hidden chains. Let's talk about the people in your life. Some of them are not neutral. They're active enemies of your discipline. They don't say it, but they feel threatened by your growth. They mock your new habits. They try to pull you back when you pull away. They act like you're changing too much. Good. Let them say it. Let them feel it. Let them choke on your distance. A real man doesn't ask permission to grow. He walks away. Without apology, without announcement, without turning back. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Most men won't cut toxic people because deep down, they're still slaves to approval. They'd rather be accepted by the weak than be feared by the strong. Don't be that man. You weren't born to fit in. You were born to break patterns and build empires, but you can't build when you're constantly cleaning up other people's emotional trash. Social media. The invisible needle. You don't realize it, but you're addicted. Not just to dopamine, but to distraction itself. You've trained your brain to crave noise, to panic when things go silent, to scroll instead of sit, to check notifications instead of check in with your own purpose. You think it's harmless. Every swipe, every post you consume, every meaningless reel is killing the version of you that could have been a machine of focus. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind." So here's a test. Open your social apps right now. What's filling your feed? Do you see warriors or clowns? Do you see discipline or drama? Do you see purpose or poison? Clean your digital battlefield. Unfollow, block, delete. If it doesn't sharpen your mind, it weakens it. And if it weakens your mind, it's your enemy. Bad habits, comfortable suicide. You've made rituals out of your own destruction. Late-night junk food, vaping to relax, porn to escape, sleeping in. Procrastination disguised as recharging. These aren't habits. They're self-imposed chains. Every time you repeat them, you hardwire your weakness. You teach your brain, "This is who I am, a man who numbs himself." No, you're not. You're a warrior who's been lied to. You're a disciplined machine drowning in distraction. And the only way out is sacrifice. Discipline starts by killing your comfort routines. Not tapering, killing. Burn the bridge back. Don't ease off. Don't cut down. Eliminate. That's what warriors do. Relationships that drain you. Let's get brutally honest. You're holding on to people who already let go of you. She left. They moved on. He betrayed you. She ghosted you. They laughed at your dreams. And still, you stalk their stories. Still, you wonder if they'll come back. Still, you hope for closure. You don't need closure. You need coldness. You don't need one last talk. You need silence. Block. Delete. Cut. Move. Marcus Aurelius said, "How much more harmful are the consequences of anger and grief than the circumstances that arouse them in us?" You're not angry because they left. You're angry because you keep replaying it. You're not heartbroken because of them. You're heartbroken because you keep feeding the pain. Let it die, starve it, and build your edge in silence. Complacent friendships equals collapsed future. The people closest to you shape your standards. So ask yourself, are your friends disciplined? Do they talk about mission, purpose, growth? Or is it just, "Bro, let's chill. Let's just vibe"? Why are you always grinding? Here's why. Weak men hate seeing someone rise. It exposes their own excuses. So they'll laugh. They'll tease. They'll try to pull you back into the pit of mediocrity. And if you don't cut them, you'll become them. Don't negotiate your future to protect fragile feelings. If you must walk alone, walk. The man you want to become is not found in crowds. He's found in silence, in focus, in relentless solitude. Cutting hurts. Good. Here's what no one tells you. Cutting is painful. You will miss them. You will feel the urge to reconnect. You will feel alone. Good. That pain is proof that you're healing. That silence is the sound of your mind recalibrating. That loneliness is the echo of weakness dying. Seneca wrote, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you. So bleed if you must. Cry in silence if needed. But do not go back. Do not reconnect. Do not explain. Cut and rebuild. Because every poison you remove, every distraction you kill, every connection you burn, brings you one step closer to clarity, power, and peace." Final strike. Who will you become? Look around. Everything you've allowed shaped who you are. Your distractions shaped your focus. Your people shaped your mindset. Your habits shaped your body. Your softness shaped your future. But here's the final truth. You allowed it, and you can undo it if you're willing to sacrifice. Not tomorrow, not next month. Now clean house, cut the ties, sharpen the blade, and move forward. Not with noise, not with apology, but in cold, brutal silence. Because nothing changes until you cut what kills you. Every day is a war, and the battlefield begins the moment your eyes open. Before the phone, before the noise, before the world gets a piece of you. There is a moment, a sacred moment, and that moment decides everything. You either rise and conquer, or delay and decay. You either command the day, or become its prisoner. The first 60 minutes are your edge. You can lie to the world. You can wear the clothes, talk the talk, post the quotes. But your morning doesn't lie. It exposes the truth. Did you rise when it was hard? Did you conquer comfort? Did you show up even when no one was watching? That's the mark of a real man. Because men of discipline don't start their day with convenience. They start it with conquest. A warrior's mind is built in the first hour. The rest of the world hits snooze, scrolls, reacts, escapes. But you rise, you breathe, you command the storm before it begins. Marcus Aurelius said, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being." You don't rise because you feel like it. You rise because a man has duties. The snooze button is spiritual suicide. Every time you hit snooze, you send a message to your mind. Comfort is more important than discipline. Delay is more important than destiny. Sleep is more important than becoming who I was meant to be. And you wonder why the rest of your day collapses. You start late, and the chaos takes over. You chase instead of lead. You react instead of command. You beg instead of build. Your morning is your mental armor. Without it, the world will gut you before lunch. Morning should be cold, silent, sacred. No lights, no noise, no social media, no messages, no opinions. Just you, your breath, the cold, and your mission. The weak man wakes up to distraction. The strong man wakes up to stillness. You don't need more noise in your life. You need space. You need silence so your mind can speak. You need cold so your spirit hardens. You need discomfort so your muscles remember. This is war. Cold showers, the daily baptism of fire. Every morning, walk into the cold. It will shock you. It will test you. It will force your nervous system to adapt. Good. You want control? Start with the one thing most men avoid: discomfort. Cold showers aren't about hygiene. They're about identity. You step into that water and say, I'm not here for comfort, I'm here for control. And that mindset bleeds into everything else. You conquer the cold. You'll conquer hesitation. You'll conquer emotional impulses. You'll conquer fear. Because your nervous system has been battle-tested by dawn. Morning, silence. Train your inner commander before the world gets in your head. Get into your soul. Sit down, eyes open. No phone, no noise. Just breath and stillness. Let the chaos rise, and watch it like a general. Let the thoughts come, but don't serve them. Let the emotions rise, but don't worship them. This is Stoic power, to observe without reacting, to see the storm and stay unmoved. You are not your mind. You are its master, but only if you train in silence before the noise begins. The morning journal. Steal your focus. Most men wake up with 100 open loops, worries, cravings, regrets, distractions, all crashing in at once. You want to cut the chaos? Grab a pen, write down the mission. Not 20 goals, not a dream board. One thing. What's the one thing today that, if done, pushes you closer to the man you want to be? Write it, own it, attack it. Journaling isn't for poets. It's for warriors who don't want to be ruled by random thoughts. Write, clear, execute. Movement in stillness. Wake the beast. You don't need a gym at 5 a.m. You need to move with fire. Body weight exercises. Breath work, stretching, push-ups in silence. This isn't about six-packs. This is about waking the beast. You've been asleep. Your body forgot it's a weapon. Morning movement reminds your system, I'm here. I'm awake. I'm coming for war. Discipline isn't just mental, it's physical. You train your body to act. Without emotion, without delay, without excuse. And it starts before sunrise. Morning input, daily direction. Garbage in, garbage out. You feed your mind nonsense in the morning, you'll think like a clown all day. But if you feed your mind fire, you'll walk like a king. Don't just scroll motivational content. Consume with purpose. Read one page of Stoic philosophy. Listen to 5 minutes of someone greater than you. Reflect on a quote that cuts you. Seneca said, "Hang on to your youthful enthusiasms. You'll be able to use them better when you're older. Don't let the fire die in the morning. Feed it so it burns all day." Why most men stay slaves to the day? Most men don't lose the day at 2 p.m. They lose it at 6 a.m. They wake up late, grab their phone, get flooded with notifications, react to every demand, and now they're already behind. By the time they try to get back on track, it's too late. Their day belongs to everyone else. And here's the painful truth. He who doesn't command the morning will obey the chaos of the day. There is no middle ground. You either own your time or become a slave to everyone else's. Excuses, kill them at sunrise. I'm not a morning person. Lieutenant, you're just not a disciplined person. Yet, I went to sleep late. Then suffer. Rise anyway. It's cold. Good. Face it. I don't feel like it. Doesn't matter. Do it anyway. You think Spartans cared about feelings? You think Aurelius checked the weather before leading Rome? They understood one thing. Ritual creates results. The man who rises on command, who executes no matter what, who shows up without applause, that man becomes a machine. Mornings are where the old you dies. Every morning is a death and a birth. You kill the version of you that was lazy. You bury the excuses. You silence the cravings, and you birth the beast, a man of fire, a man of order, a man of cold logic and focused rage. This is not a morning routine. This is a rebirth ritual. And if you do it daily, your enemies will never see you coming, because by the time they wake up, you've already become unrecognizable. Final strike. Set the tone or be drowned by it. You have two choices. Wake up reactive. Scroll, delay, complain, beg, drift. End the day tired and ashamed. Or wake up like a weapon, cold, focused, silent, sharp. End the day knowing you owned every second. There is no shortcut. There is only the first hour, the sacred hour, the hour where men are forged. So rise tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but when the alarm hits. No snooze, no softness, no story. Just war. Master the morning, or be a slave all day. You think your problem is the world. You think your failures came from betrayal, heartbreak, or bad luck. You think your weakness is caused by people who wronged you. But here's the truth you avoid. The enemy is not out there. The enemy is your thinking. Your mind is not your friend, yet you assume your thoughts are truth. You assume what enters your mind deserves attention. You assume every feeling must be felt, every impulse entertained. That's why you're stuck. Not because of pain, but because of how you process pain. You overthink. You relive every failure. You analyze every message. You run the same loop in your mind like a prisoner pacing in a 6x6 cell. And here's the worst part. You think it's normal. You think you're just an overthinker. You're untrained, and untrained minds are dangerous, not just to others, but to themselves. The prison of thought loops. Let's break it down. You make a mistake. Then you think about it for hours. You imagine what you should have said. You replay conversations. You fantasize about revenge. You scroll for answers, for closure, for meaning. And you stay stuck. Meanwhile, real life moves on. But you don't. Because you've locked yourself inside your mind. Overthinking is not reflection, it's emotional paralysis. You're not self-aware. You're mentally enslaved. You're not healing, you're looping. Cold logic is your sword. So how do you break free? Not with therapy, not with venting, not with journaling your feelings endlessly, with cold logic. The Stoics mastered this. They didn't drown in emotions. They didn't let their thoughts spiral. They trained their minds to respond like a general. Sharp, clear, unmoved. Epictetus said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about them." Pain isn't the problem. Your interpretation is. The storm isn't the issue. Your story about the storm is. And that story must be rewritten with cold, brutal logic. Feelings are not facts. You feel rejected, so you think you're unworthy. You feel lost, so you believe you have no future. You feel alone, so you assume no one cares. But feelings aren't facts. They're chemical weather. They pass, they lie, they distort. The weak man drowns in emotion. The disciplined man steps back, observes, and questions everything. Cold logic asks, is this true? Is this useful? Is this weakness or wisdom speaking? What action does this feeling deserve, if any? You train your mind like a courtroom. No emotion enters without cross-examination. How to kill thought loops in real time. Here's your protocol. Burn this into your brain. Pause. When the loop starts, freeze. Interrupt it. Name the emotion. I feel shame. I feel anger. I feel fear. Step outside. Imagine watching yourself from a distance. You're the observer, not the reactor. Write it out, like a Stoic soldier. Write down the problem in a single sentence. No emotion, no drama, just raw data. Example, someone didn't text me back. I feel abandoned. Now ask, is this really abandonment? Did they owe me a reply? Is this about them or about my ego? Strike it down. Replace the thought with cold truth. Not positive thinking, not fluffy hope, just truth. Example, they didn't respond. That's data, not destruction. I move forward anyway. Don't negotiate with weakness. Your mind will beg you. Just think about it one more time. Just imagine if you had said this, just replay the moment again. No, that's weakness knocking, and you don't answer that door. You have one job: cut the thought before it chains you. This is war, not therapy, not self-soothing. War. Every weak thought is a spy sent to sabotage your focus. You interrogate it, expose it, then burn it down. This is how warriors think. Not reactively, but strategically. Stoic mindset. Mental muscle. You don't get a strong mind by reading quotes. You get it by repetition, by force, by confronting weakness until it breaks. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Read that again. You have power. But power means nothing if it isn't practiced. Start with 5 minutes a day. Sit still. Let the chaos come. And respond with cold logic. No judgment, no panic. Just observe, correct and command. Stop caring what they think. One of the biggest thought loops that ruin men. What will they think? This question is a mental virus. It infects your decisions, your posture, your courage. It turns kings into clowns. It turns warriors into people pleasers. Let it die. Most people aren't thinking about you, and the ones who are probably weaker than you. Live like a Stoic. Speak your truth. Walk your path. Cut the mental chain of seeking validation. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." And most of that suffering comes from one source: overvaluing opinions that don't matter. Thought is a tool, not a master. You were born with a brain, but somewhere along the line, you let it become your dictator. It feeds you impulses. You obey. It floods you with memories. You indulge. It fills you with fear. You retreat. That ends now. You do not exist to serve your thoughts. They exist to serve you. If a thought doesn't build you, discipline you, or direct you, discard it. This is how you reset your mind. Not by feeling better, but by thinking sharper. The dangers of emotional rituals. Modern society pushes emotional rituals. Talk it out. Process your emotions. Cry it out. Journal everything you feel. Be vulnerable. But too much emotional processing becomes indulgence. It becomes a crutch, a reason to sit in weakness and call it healing. Do not confuse release with reprogramming. It's okay to feel. But feelings aren't sacred. They're signals. Your job isn't to bow to emotion, it's to extract the lesson and move. Fast, cold, clear. The battle is internal and daily. Don't wait for peace. Don't wait for perfect clarity. Don't wait for motivation. You are the general of a wild army. Your thoughts. They will test you every day, especially in the morning, especially when you're tired, especially when you're alone. Train them, sharpen them, cut the ones that betray you. Because most men, they never win the war. Because they never knew it existed. Now you do. Final strike. Think like a weapon. You don't need a new life. You need a new lens. You don't need motivation. You need mental fire. You don't need perfect emotions. You need perfect logic. So from now on, you will observe before reacting. Question before obeying a thought. Cut before you spiral. Replace every loop with clarity. Live like a general, not a slave. You are not your weakness. You are not your history. You are not your emotion. You are a blade, and every thought is either sharpening you or softening you. Rewire your mind with cold logic, or stay a prisoner of warm lies. She left, or maybe you left her, but still feel the ache. The messages stopped. The calls dried up, and now you sit there, watching her move on, smiling in selfies, dancing with strangers. While your mind replays everything, your heart screams, text her, just once. Get closure, say one last thing. Don't, that's not strength, that's slavery. No contact is not a game, it's a ritual of rebirth. No contact isn't some dating strategy. It's not manipulation. It's not revenge. It's a mental fast. It's a spiritual detox. It's a discipline of silence. Because every time you reach out, you reopen a wound. You give away power. You invite the storm back in. The woman who left, she's not your salvation. She's not your closure. She's a chapter. It ended. Let it stay closed. Texting is a loop. Kill the loop. You don't want her. You want the version of you who felt loved when she was around. You're not texting her. You're texting your memory. You're chasing what used to be, not what is. And that loop is destroying your present. Every, hey, just checking in. Every, I hope you're okay. Every unsent paragraph you rewrite in your head. That's a man lost in fantasy. A man trying to reverse time. But time doesn't care, and she's already moved on. The longer you delay the silence, the longer you delay your rebirth. The urge to text is a trap. Let's expose the lie. You feel the urge and think it's a sign. You say, I just want closure. She deserves to know how I feel. We were good together. Maybe she's hurting too. Stop. That's not truth. That's emotion dressing up as logic. It's your addiction talking. It's your loneliness in disguise. Real strength is not reaching out. Real strength is enduring the silence until it no longer hurts. Because eventually, it won't. But only if you don't break. Every message you send cuts your edge. Let's be blunt. Every time you text her, you train your mind to be needy. You reinforce weakness. You prove to yourself you lack control. You tell your subconscious, I can't stand on my own. That becomes your identity. A man who can't let go. A man who waits for answers instead of building new questions. A man stuck in a story that's already ended. And you wonder why you feel weak. You're feeding the wound. You're watering dead flowers. You're kneeling at an altar that already burned down. No contact. Total abstinence. This isn't just about not texting her. It's no watching her stories, no checking her likes, no stalking her feed, no replaying memories, no scrolling through old pictures, no asking friends about her, no crumbs, no closure, no coping. You must starve the attachment, because even one bite, one glance, one click, and the cycle starts again. You think it's just one look. But that one look reignites the fire, and now you're back to day zero. You want power, then cut, fully, completely, mercilessly. She's not coming back, and if she does, you'll be gone. Here's a truth most men never hear. The right woman will not require you to break yourself. If she left, if she played games, if she ghosted, manipulated, disrespected your worth, then her return doesn't mean victory. It means you were too weak to stay gone. And if she ever does come back, she must find a new man. Not the emotional wreck she left, but a version of you she can't even recognize. A man of steel, a man of purpose. A man whose silence built a kingdom while she was playing in the ashes. Discipline in silence is holy. Silence is uncomfortable, it makes you feel invisible. But that's the point. In silence, the boy dies, and the man is born. You begin to hear your own thoughts. You begin to rebuild your edge. You sit in pain, and instead of running, you let it sharpen you. This is where cold logic takes root. You stop asking, why did she leave? And start asking, why did I give so much of myself to someone who didn't deserve it? That shift is the beginning of power. Love isn't the problem. Attachment is. You think you loved her. Maybe you did. But most men confuse love with emotional dependence. Love says, I care about you. Attachment says, I need you to feel whole. And when you need someone to complete you, you hand them the remote control to your self-worth. That's not love. That's enslavement. No contact teaches you to take it back. Not out of hate, not out of ego, but out of sacred necessity. Because a man who needs someone to feel strong was never strong to begin with. You don't need closure, you need clarity. Stop waiting for her to explain. Stop waiting for a last conversation. Stop waiting for the apology that'll never come. You don't need her words to heal. You need your own decision. You need to decide that you are done. Not bitter, not angry, just done. Let her live her story. Let her tell herself whatever helps her sleep. You've got bigger things to do than narrate someone else's plot line. Your story doesn't need her to be the ending. Let her be the lesson. And keep writing. Block without hesitation. Yes, block her. But won't that make me look weak? No. Chasing looks weak. Waiting looks weak. Texting months later looks weak. Blocking, that's a boundary. That's the final wall. That's the statement. This is over, and I mean it. You're not punishing her. You're protecting your peace. You're not angry. You're ascended. Don't let pride keep you connected. Let logic cut the rope. Emotional detox is painful. Good. You'll miss her. You'll feel the sting in quiet moments. You'll remember laughs, kisses, old routines. Let it come. Let the emotion burn through you like acid, because it's cleaning out the infection. Don't numb it. Don't feed it. Endure it. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." This is your adversity. This is your test. You don't grow by running from the ache. You grow by standing still in it and refusing to fall. She's not the one. Purpose is the biggest lie you've believed. That she was your purpose. Number. Purpose is silent. Purpose doesn't betray you. Purpose doesn't block you or ghost you or love you only when it's easy. Purpose is what remains after everyone else leaves. When the calls stop, when the messages go dry, when the world forgets your name, purpose is still there, waiting, unmoved. Return to it. Final strike. Silence is power. Stay gone. This is the end of begging, the end of explanations, the end of waiting. No contact is not about her, it's about you. It's the discipline of letting go, the death of the emotional slave, the birth of a man who doesn't chase, he builds. From now on, no messages, no memories, no more hoping, only silence, only power, only purpose. She's not your future. She was your fire, she burned you, and now you rise from ash. No contact is the reset. Stay gone or stay broken. Choose. You want to be reborn. Stronger, colder, wiser, untouchable. But here's what no one tells you. You have to die first. Not your body, your identity, your old self, the version of you addicted to comfort, validation, and weakness. And that death is not gentle. It's not poetic. It's not inspirational. It's brutal. It's lonely. It's pain. You don't transform in peace. You want growth to feel good. You want to become a savage. In silence, in warmth, in ease. That's not how this works. Fire doesn't feel good, but it purifies. Pressure doesn't feel nice, but it forges. Pain is the price of rebirth. And if you're not willing to suffer, you're not willing to rise. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." And you've been skipping difficulty your entire life. That ends now. The old you must die, the version of you who snoozes the alarm. Dead, the version of you who needs permission to leave toxic people. Dead. The version of you who overthinks texts, chases women, relives failures. Dead. That part of you, the emotional slave, has no place in the kingdom you're building. But here's the catch. He doesn't die quietly. He begs. He screams. He clings to your identity. Because you've been him for so long, you confuse him with who you are. But he's not you. He's your parasite, and parasites don't leave without blood. So bleed. Let him die. Pain isn't the enemy. It's the proof. When you feel pain, that's not the sign to stop. That's the sign that something weak in you is dying. Good. Most men quit at the first sign of discomfort. They run from silence. They run from cold. They run from heartbreak. They run from self-confrontation. And then they wonder why they feel lost, soft and broken. The Stoic warrior walks toward it, not because he enjoys it, but because he respects it. Pain is the toll gate. You want a new life? You have to pay. Not with words, not with journals, with suffering. Stop numbing. Start feeling. You've spent years numbing. Through food, through sex, through distraction, through noise, through people who made you feel good, not grow strong. Every time pain came knocking, you reached for comfort, and comfort robbed you. It robbed you of your edge. It robbed you of your truth. It robbed you of your fire. From now on, when pain shows up, you invite it in. You sit in it. You breathe through it. You let it scar you, because scars are proof that something inside you changed forever. Every rebirth comes with a sacrifice. You can't keep everything. You want a new mind, but hold on to old thoughts. You want a new life, but stay in dead routines. You want to level up, but carry people who pull you down. Number, you don't get to be reborn and keep the ashes. There must be loss. Friends, habits, comfort, dreams, gone. Burn the bridge behind you. Make it impossible to return. This isn't evolution. This is execution. You don't adjust the old you. You kill him. The silent chamber of pain. There will be a time, maybe it's already here, when no one checks on you, when the phone is silent, when the room is cold, when the goals feel far and the heart feels empty. That is the chamber where real men are forged. No applause, no comfort, just you and the mirror. You either fold or you rise. And if you rise now, if you endure the silence, if you bleed in solitude, you become unstoppable. Because the man who survives pain without losing his purpose can never be controlled again. Pain is data. Use it. Don't just feel pain. Study it. Ask, what is this pain trying to teach me? What did I ignore that led me here? What weak part of me is dying right now? What am I being prepared for? Pain is not punishment. It's preparation. The world won't stop testing you. So stop asking it to be easy. Instead, build a mind that thrives in the storm. Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Respond with strength. Respond with steel. Respond with silence and fire. Don't escape. Endure. Your mind will beg. Just one scroll. Just text her. Just sleep a little longer. Just quit for today. Ignore it. That voice is not your guide. It's your leash. Let the pain hit. Let the craving scream. Let the weakness scratch at the door. And do nothing. Endure. There's no escape route. There's no shortcut. There's no bypass around rebirth. You suffer. You survive. You sharpen. This is the price of greatness. You want to be respected. Earn it. You want to walk like a weapon. Build it. You want to speak and have the world stop and listen. Bleed for it. Most men say they want to be warriors, but they don't want to train when it's cold. They don't want to walk alone. They don't want to lose sleep, comfort, attention, women, or pleasure. Then stay average. Stay numb. Stay weak. But don't lie and say you want greatness. Greatness costs, and pain is the down payment. Cry if you must, but never crawl. This isn't about being emotionless. It's about being unstoppable. You can cry, you can hurt, you can feel the full weight of heartbreak, regret, loneliness. But you never beg. You never crawl. You never lose your discipline. A real man lets the pain come, then uses it like firewood. You light that pain, and you burn the world down with it, because that's what warriors do. Pain builds what? Comfort never will. Comfort builds ego. Pain builds humility. Comfort builds illusion. Pain builds clarity. Comfort gives you cheap highs. Pain gives you permanent roots. You'll never be the same after deep pain. And that's the point. Pain strips you of what was fake, what was borrowed, what was weak, what was never truly yours, and what remains is pure, is real, is you. Final strike. Bleed into your becoming. Stop asking why it hurts. Start asking, who am I becoming because of this? The boy in you will cry for escape. The man in you must whisper, good, let it hurt. Every moment of pain is a hammer. Every tear is a lesson. Every lonely night is a sacred trial. You're not being destroyed. You're being rebuilt. So rise, not with comfort, not with ease, but with discipline, with scars, with silence. Because pain is not the end of you. It's the beginning. Pain is the price of rebirth. Pay it in full and come back untouchable. You've talked enough. You've explained yourself, posted about your goals, told people you'd change, shared your plans, announced your routines, begged to be understood. Now shut up, because no one cares what you say. The world only respects one thing: what you become in silence. The power of moving without noise. Modern men bleed energy through their mouths. They talk about leveling up, but stay the same. They post about focus, but scroll all day. They speak like warriors, but act like victims. Here's the truth. Words are cheap. Silence is sacred. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius didn't preach on a stage. He wrote quietly in his journal. Seneca didn't broadcast every breakthrough. He observed, disciplined, endured. And that's what real power looks like. Not noise, but control. Announcing your plans is self-sabotage. You think you're building momentum when you announce your goals, but you're not. You're releasing pressure. The moment you say, I'm going to the gym now, I'm working on my business, I've changed my mindset, you get applause before you've earned anything. And that dopamine kills your drive, because now you've already felt rewarded. But you've done nothing. No real work. No discipline. Just performance. You want results? Move in silence. Let the results announce you. Nobody cares about your struggle. Until you win, stop posting your pain. Stop sharing every detail of your growth. Stop hoping someone will see how hard you're trying. They won't. They don't care, and they shouldn't. Because you're not owed attention. You're not owed support. You're not owed understanding. You want to be seen. Become undeniable. Let your transformation speak louder than your complaints. Let your results walk into the room before you do. Let your new discipline humiliate the old version of you, silently. Discipline is louder in silence. Think about a blade. It doesn't talk, it doesn't argue, it doesn't explain, it just cuts. Be that. Train without telling anyone. Read without bragging. Wake up early without posting it. Move in silence and become sharp in darkness. Because when you move without noise, you eliminate distractions. You train for the mission, not for the audience. You become focused, unshakable, dangerous. The world doesn't fear loud men. It fears the ones who vanish and come back changed. The man who vanishes becomes unrecognizable. Stop trying to be seen. Start trying to be missed, not by friends, not by women, by your old self. Disappear into the grind. Disappear into the discomfort. Disappear into the discipline. You'll come back with a new walk, new eyes, new silence, and the world won't understand it. Good. That's the goal. Your transformation should be so deep they think you died. And in a way, you did. The soft, emotional, approval-seeking version of you. Gone. Social silence equals mental dominance. Try this. Don't post anything for 30 days. No stories, no gym pics, no quotes, no new chapter updates. Just vanish. Go dark. Watch how your focus sharpens. Watch how your thoughts clear. Watch how your body moves with intention, because attention is a drug, and you've been addicted for too long. Let them wonder where you went. Let them guess what you're doing. You don't owe the world updates. You owe yourself results. Silence forces you to sit with yourself. Most men are loud because they're scared. Scared of silence. Scared of their own thoughts. Scared of confronting who they really are when no one's watching. But silence is where truth lives. Silence is where strength is built. Silence is where you find out who you actually are. Without noise, followers, or filters. In silence, you hear the voices. You're not enough. You're behind. You'll never make it. Good. Face them. Kill them. And rise. Stop explaining yourself. You've explained yourself too much. To her, to them, to people who never cared to understand. Stop. They don't need to know your side. They don't need to know your struggle. They don't need to know why you walked away, why you changed, why you cut them off. Let your silence speak. Let your new life speak. Let your absence scream. You don't explain war, you wage it. And you're in one now. A war against softness, a war against your past. And warriors don't explain. They execute. Build yourself in the dark. Think of the lion. He doesn't announce the hunt. He stalks. He waits. He moves through shadows, unseen, until it's time to strike. That's how you build. In silence, in patience, in pain. Your next chapter doesn't need applause. It needs war. While they're partying, grind. While they're watching, disappear. While they're performing, rebuild. So when you return, you don't need to say a word. Your presence will say it all. Disconnect to reconnect. Turn it all off. The feed, the noise, the fake friendships, the gossip, the craving for likes. Disconnect, not because you hate the world, but because you're becoming something it can't comprehend. The more you disconnect, the more your mind recalibrates. The more you see clearly. The more you remember what matters. Discipline, silence, purpose, power. The foundation is built alone. You don't lay bricks on stage. You lay them in silence, in the early hours, in the lonely nights, when nobody claps, when nobody checks in, when it's just you and the grind. That's where the foundation is set. You build without praise, without validation, without posts. And when you rise, you don't owe anyone an explanation. They watched you vanish. Now they'll watch you dominate. Become a man they can't read. Mystery is power. If they know your next move, they can stop it. If they know your weakness, they can use it. If they know your mind, they can manipulate it. But if you move without noise, you become a ghost, a storm, a force they can't calculate. Be unreadable. Be unpredictable. Be unavailable. And when they finally hear from you, let it be after you've already won. You're not building a brand. You're building a legacy. This isn't marketing. This isn't performance. This is your soul, your rebirth. Your one shot to become the man you were too weak to be yesterday. Stop trying to look impressive. Start trying to be impressive. Because when it's all said and done, the men who changed the world weren't loud. They were focused. They were obsessed. They were ghosts in the trenches until they emerged as kings. Final strike. Silent, sharp, unstoppable. You don't need noise. You don't need applause. You don't need to post it, announce it, or explain it. You need silence. You need obsession. You need darkness and repetition and discomfort and scars. That's how you become a weapon. Not just strong, but silent, sharp, deadly. So from this day forward, move without noise, vanish, building return. And when you do, say nothing. Let your new life speak. Become a silent weapon, or stay a loud slave. Now you know, this wasn't a motivational video. This was a mirror, a confrontation, a final warning to the version of you that's been sleepwalking through life. You've seen the battlefield now. It's not out there. It's inside. The soft thoughts, the emotional reactions, the toxic people, the dead routines, the comfort you call self-care, the scrolling, the noise, the weakness. That's your enemy, and the choice has always been yours. You are either building or bleeding. Every day you delay, you get softer, weaker, more addicted, more emotional, more lost. You're not stuck. You're just still choosing weakness. One more text, one more snooze, one more scroll, one more excuse. That's all it takes to stay exactly where you are. Chained. Chained to validation. Chained to distraction. Chained to a life you secretly hate. But now you've seen the truth. Now you know that silence is power, that pain is sacred, that comfort is a cage, that your mind must be commanded, or it will destroy you. This is the last time you start over. You've said it before. This time I'll stay disciplined. This time I'll cut the distractions. This time I'll be consistent. But you didn't, because you were doing it for approval, for likes, for her, for applause. This time, it's different, because this time, it's for war. No more posting about it, no more talking about it, no more writing your plans in journals no one reads. Just action, just fire, just silence. Final strike. Choose. This is the moment, not tomorrow, not next week. Now you can stay soft, stay distracted, stay chained to weakness. Keep scrolling, keep chasing, keep hoping the pain will just disappear. Or you can reset. Yo,